Welcome to the second hour of Mind Shifters Radio, and today is Monday, December the 1st, 2025. And we welcome you to December. Hi, Andrea. How are you? I see you're driving.
Hi.
Hey. So, Michael asked me to hold the fort down for a few minutes until he got on. So, I'll just say I hope everybody had an awesome Thanksgiving and in preparation for the upcoming Christmas and New Year's that we're all settled in and enjoy it and keep the stress level down, do forgiveness worksheets. I'm finished my shopping. I just need to start wrapping and then get the ones shipped off to Kansas City and New Jersey and St. Louis. So I feel like I'm ahead of that game. And our editing is going right along. Thank you, Susan Bingham. And we took a couple of days off from doing that. I think I finally am getting caught up with Sean. He's been doing the year 2021, where Dr. Tim did A Course in Miracles every day, and Michael read through the Why Again book every day. And so we're getting those up on YouTube, and I'm through, I think, the 19th of February. So I'm getting close to catching up with him. And so those are out there if you are interested in listening to either A Course in Miracles or Why Again being read through each day. And so that was an interesting study on both of those parts. So those are out there. And then we'll get back to editing the book, and we're getting close. We're doing some really good work. Actually, Susan, in going through the worksheets and doing some rewording, gave me some opportunities to redo some worksheets. And so that was really good. So I thank you for all you're
Jeanie,
doing.
it occurred to me that your little app I often use your app. I need to do a wake up sheet and I've got my phone, but I don't have paper.
Right.
That little app is such a good template because it keeps your nose to the grindstone. It doesn't allow diversions, self-recriminations, which you tend to do. You tend to have a bad thought and you say, but I know I'm one and I'm all love and all this stuff. It's as if you can't sit, you won't let yourself sit with who you are. I'm bawling you out in a way. I really think if you want to, I'm not suggesting you actually do that, but it occurred to me that if you did every one of those wake up sheets using your own tool, it would force you to stick right to the one focus that you have without going on a tangent until the afterthoughts. The afterthoughts are a fantastic idea. There are tons of great ideas in there. They're
Right.
just not in the right spot.
Right. I agree with you on that. And what she's talking about is the worksheets that I did in the book. Every step, it would be like, okay, this is going to be additional worksheets, or it was bringing in another thought. And, that's what the worksheets do. They're like a hydra. The hydra was a mythical creature, and you took one head off and 15 others popped up. It's like you couldn't get ahead of it. And so, yeah, we're going to rewrite it and put the afterthoughts at the end of the worksheet so that the notes are still there, but they're not intermingled with the worksheet itself. And that was an excellent idea, Susan. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. It's been fun to work on. I'm almost ready, but every time I go through them, I find something else. So I'm telling you, I don't think we're going to make it by Christmas.
That's okay. The publisher, he said, I know you've got a deadline that you want to meet, but the editing is primary. He said, get your editing done and have the book ready to go before you do the publishing. So I think he was right on with that. And that's what we're going to do.
It's very good.
And especially with your surgery coming up mid-month and then hitting, the holidays and everything. So you can let go of the goal of having to have it done before Christmas.
Oh, good. Well, I'm looking for, I've even gotten an iPad so that I can lie in bed and work on it, unless I just don't need to do that. Staying in bed is a hardship. It sounds funny, but I mean, I just need to move around. And I have a stand-up desk, and the doctor said, "Oh, good. Well, once the surgery is done, you can stand there until it bothers you, and then get down again."
Right.
Sitting is more complicated for a new hip than standing. So there it
Yeah.
is. So I might not even need this little laptop.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same way. When I wake up in the morning, I am ready to get up and move. It's like
Yeah,
my body's been in bed long enough. Let's get up and get some circulation going.
I know. That's true. All right. Well,
So, anybody else have something that we can support you with? No, everybody's good. We had a good meeting. What day was it? I guess last night. And I did get the link sent out this morning on that. So,
I oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Okay. Um I got lots going on today.
Oh, what's happening?
So
Great.
much. I I feel like since the intensive, I've dropped deep again into the present moment. And for a few years, I haven't been allowing it, more like automatically than consciously, because of the bigger events that happened. And I got to go to the intensive and just totally drop in, and coming back home has been like really amazing because of being so deep in the moment. And like incredible things are unfolding with my children and in my life, and I'm celebrating it. But internally, there's a lot of, like, a lot of maybe a new layer. There's a part of me that doesn't even care to figure it out. It's just like the being with it that seems to be a little bit challenging. That being in this state of surrender, somehow being with it is a little more challenging than when everything just felt so painful all the time. Things aren't as painful. So I don't know if any of that makes sense. I worked a bit with Susan last night, and she helped me find a mind shifter where I was spiraling at the time, and it really helped bring out a lot of mind energy. But I guess as I'm saying all this, I'm kind of like feeling this fear arise of just like the fear of really stepping into life and releasing control. Because I really got that message at the intensive, just to get back into life. It's safe to follow the guidance instead of mostly hiding at home. Because I think I was under this idea that if I healed enough, I could get back out there and these things would stop. But that's not the path, right? Like the why is it happening again things.
Right. And, we've had some similar paths, not exact, but needing to control our environment to feel safe. And that's a challenging one to let go of sometimes. And to just trust, Rukha, that we are safe. But as these next layers are coming up, just know that, and I hang on to this one a lot, but something wouldn't be up in your face if you're not strong enough to handle it yet. You know, we're told that it's like a automatic suppress mechanism that keeps it down until we are vital enough and to the level enough where it can come forward for us to look at it. And it may look like it's the same thing again. It's a different layer of it. And, you know, just knowing that, okay, it's in my face, but somewhere, even if I don't feel it right at the moment, that means that I am strong enough to deal with this one now. And the being willing to let down all of the need to control everything or to figure it out or to have a handle on all of it, and just being with it and breathe. And, you know, that's the best thing you can do, is just to be with it and to trust Rukha, to trust that, you know, God says he won't put more on us than we're able to bear. And, you know, we can trust his promises. Mm-hmm. But just remember to breathe and be with it and take it slow. Be gentle with yourself. You know, if you're not ready to jump out there full force yet, you know, don't beat yourself up that you can't make it yet. You know, you're getting there, and you've made some great progress. And so just be gentle with yourself, and, you know that you are getting there and that it's okay.
Yeah.
And we're here to support you. There's Susan. Go for it.
Hey, I just so Andrew, I know what you're going through. Dr. Tim's call today was amazing because he talked about vulnerability, and I guess he'd been listening to the last week. He listens to the radio shows of Dr. Michael's and Jeanie's hour, and he noticed that vulnerability came up in our discussions after the retreat. And so if you get a chance to listen to that again, to listen to it for the first time, because he talks about vulnerability for you and I, or anyone that's had trauma. You know, it was wired in our being that vulnerability was danger. And vulnerability is two ways. So there's a vulnerability, and also the definition we hold for vulnerability. And one of the things I got out of that is I'm going to take some time to what vulnerability actually means to me, or meant to my mind, for protection and all the things that I couldn't, it's danger to come out, all of that. And Dr. Tim talked about, you know, we're in a world now, we're living in the current state of being, knowing that we are able to rest into Rukha. That's the truth of it. That is the truth. Now we're coming up against cognitive dissonance for us, because we have to face the fact we believed our whole life that the world isn't safe. Right? We believe that. And so now we're asked to go step out and trust in life and be open. Vulnerability is being open. That's what creates connection. People love when, you know, when we express ourselves, and this is who I am and this is what I'm about. And I see you stepping into that beautifully in your humor, at the, like, you're coming out and just your beautiful light. And we're going to go out for dinner on Wednesday at the girls. And so it's a scary proposition for the wounded parts of self that didn't believe it was safe. And you have great courage. And remember, I said holding your little girl parts on your lap and showing them evidence how the world is safe. You can talk about how Patrick worked on you on the table. There was nothing inappropriate, how Michael held space and complete love, how you and Jeanie connected, how our travel to what the excitement that happened when we were in Atlanta, how we all got along in the no disruptions, and how we held each other so beautifully. Lots of evidence is showing up that you are safe and you get to trust into life. And to what Jeanie is saying, you've gone up to, you know, you catapulted into a whole new level of vitality, like boomed out of there. Like you think your personal code evaluation from being down at crisis point, and then you've just elevated up through all your work, and then coming to this workshop, and then really just skyrocketing. So guess what? Okay, here I am. Next level. I'm going to my liberation and my salvation. So, and I know Rukha's got me. And so if this is coming up, it's a gotta face. I'm going through a lot of, I want to say ancestral stuff. It's not even mine. it's happening in my etheric body, and also watching it through the etheric body, and it's happening in the physiology of this body, but it isn't mine. And the thought forms, all of it, I'm just being a witness to what Jeanie said, just observation, knowing Rukha has you. And the other thing that's been very helpful, I just come right to my heart, to the center of breath where I know Rukha is. And I just sit with her and ask her to breathe with me. That is me, because I'm an emanation of her, just like you are. Every one of us here are an emanation of her, especially holding the feminine. And then we get to just breathe with her. And even now, this would be a great exercise for all of us, just to breathe in, and you get to receive the love. You know, I want you to, you don't just like get a copy of that with me, if you don't mind putting this on your, doing the butterfly that I call it. And then as we breathe, when you breathe in, you just receive our love. And when you breathe out, you can extend it to that little girl within you, the one that feels so afraid. This is for all of us that have fears, and breathing in to receive. Breathing out to extend to ourselves, to the world, to all of the players that are in our matrix or our mind that we've made up. We're going to send them all love. We're going to receive the love from life. Breathing in. And then we're going to breathe out the love of Rukha into our reality. We are safe. We are creating from the present moment. The past is over. That script is complete. Those acts are done. And the mind energy that we hold today in this present moment is what is going to activate what scene gets played in our coming future. The future comes to our present moment. We don't go searching for it. Just breathe that in. You're surrounded by family here that love you, that you are embraced in our love. We are love. And you've created this container to be held as you process through this next level of vitality. And you're safe, and you're supported like your little girl never ever had before. So proud of you for speaking up. Just receiving. That part of you that's feeling overwhelmed. I say to her, this too shall pass. We'll find the gift in whatever experience, the depth that you're going through right now. And we rise, together we rise. Just taking that in. How does that feel?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate hearing the part about fear. I don't think that was landing, that's what's surfacing, is just a lot of fear, and just that I'm dropping deep in, and I could feel this remembrance of the last time I really allowed myself to drop deep into the state of consciousness is when, I felt very blindsided from that assault. Like I was doing everything right.
Yeah.
I thought meditating all my practices, following my guidance, and then that brutal assault, and then the crash and the relationship, and that's when I like pulled the control and these things back together, and I'm really surrendering again. And so there's more thawing of the grief around the grief of relief around surrender, and the fear to do it again.
Yeah. And I just want to offer the fear to do it again, that word that you just said. Fear is a construct. made up by the mind. It's false evidence appearing real. And that the past is complete. Okay. And so this is an opportunity to do the worksheets on that because the fear is within you and it's coming up for resolution at this time, finally, for
Okay.
you to say, oh, here you are again. And remember, we talked about the spiritual bypassing before when you were up in the higher chakras, because for those that don't know, Andrew and I, and I'm sure anyone else that's had trauma, we left the body as kids, and we were up hanging out with the angels and when all this stuff's going on, and then we would pop back in. Or actually, I walked beside mine. I never really went in because I'm like, I'm not going in there. So, and you also, so we lived in those realms, but we never were embodied. So remember your soul, we talked about that, how your soul said, okay, when you built your life script, if you're not at certain nodal points for the evolution of your soul, you put some checks and balances in place to bring you back in line.
Yeah.
So that's complete. And then you manifested this beautiful community of Dr. Ryce and Jeanie and everyone else that's here, and me as well. And you manifest everyone that can hold you and support you through the evolutionary space. And you're working it as you go. So every time that you come across an upset, you're working it.
Right.
So, and then you get to say, of course, your little parts would be in fear. Oh my gosh, those parts that suffered the assault, and then maybe it's time now when that fear arises, that's your tell that they need collection. That
Mm.
it was a replication as an adult as an assault, but the root of it goes all the way back to childhood of not being protected and what that would have been like. And now you get to give them a reframe that you are safe and you have a community that can hold you and you get to speak your truth and you get to come out and you get to be held and embraced in love while all of you comes to the surface, the shadow and the light.
We're delighted to be here for you
Yeah.
and have you here for us.
Yeah. And you're such a, oh, if you could be in my eyes looking at you, the light is so bright I can barely gaze upon you. And really take that in because that's the truth of it. But on the inside of your jar, as I call it, there's still the interchange of the false identity interplaying with your true identity.
Yeah.
And that in between you and the true identity is the fear. And so you get to just work it and knowing that exactly what Jeanie says, you're in a space that your psyche and your consciousness can process this now, or it wouldn't have come up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Any of the energies that we've put in have to come back out. And sometimes they look the same, symptomatically, emotionally, mentally, it looks the same as it did when it went in. But
Looks
you
and
survived
feels
it on
and
the way in.
is.
You survived it on the way in. You'll survive it on the way out.
Yeah,
And
you
just
survived
realize
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and realize it's moving in the out direction. It's not multiplying inside.
Mm-hmm.
Just breathe. What I saw a vision, right? When we left source and then the monad was created and then we went and separated out as far as we could. Well, and all the distortion that went along with that, that's out there. Now we're going back home, everybody. We're going, but guess what? The same way we went out is the same way we're collapsing back into. It go at the exact same way. There's no way around it. What we created on the way out, we're gonna have to atone on the way in.
Yeah.
And there's a song in the chat for you to sing to yourself, to sing along with.
Oh, looking through the eyes of love.
Mm.
Perfect. I'm gonna copy that one.
Yeah.
So I have it for you too.
So breathing with each and every one. And if you'd like, I actually just finished redoing our mind shifters list for our Mind Shifters and Still Point Breathing monthly club. If you'd like to pick two numbers, Andrea, a number from 1 to 37, whatever comes to your mind first.
7 and 37.
Well, 1 to 37. So 7 is the first number. Then the second number from 1 to 13.
Okay, 13.
Okay, so let me just go to the list here and go to 713. And you just selected a mind shifter. Section 7 is a section on.
I'll write it down for you,
Sorry.
Andrea, and text it to you because you're driving.
Thank you.
Section 7 is healing generations. How shocking. That's the one you picked. And 13 was the number?
Yep.
Okay. So 13 is, I open the generational barriers in my mind and invite blank to be fully exposed and healed. So that blank could be a person, or it could be grief or rage or sadness or hatred or vengeance or anything.
I open the generations barriers in my mind and invite
Generational barriers.
Yep.
And invite blank.
Since
Yeah.
you were talking about
fully-
fear, I would put fear in that.
Okay.
Invite fear to be fully exposed and healed.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll send that to you right now.
Thank you. That's powerful, because that's definitely what's up.
And that even
Definitely.
we worked last night, what I hope, right? That whole.
And you know,
Yeah.
it's always interesting. And if anybody else would like to select two numbers, you know, we'll give you a mind shifter. But
I will when you're done
I
with
don't know.
Andrea, for sure. I'll take.
Okay, I don't know what the possible combination of numbers is that you could use when you've got what I have is 37 sections. We do a new section each month with the Mind Shifters and Still Point Breathing Club. So 37 sections with 13 mind shifters each. And, you know, for the last 4 decades, whenever I give somebody a mind shifter, rather than me trying to figure it out with my mind or them figure it out with their mind, I just say, pick two numbers. And I always start out with a request that you're guided to the right numbers. And again, I don't know what the odds are of you picking the one that, you know, covers fear, generational barriers, but, you know, it always just goes like, boom, right to the core. It's pretty sweet. So breathing with you.
Thank you.
Nice work. And you're going to pick two numbers, Susan?
Yeah, 3 is the first number, and I'm gonna go with 7 for the
3,
second.
7. Okay. Well, section 3 is creating abundance. And 7 is my relationship, singular, my relationship with blank gives me opportunities to heal. My relationship with blank gives me opportunities to heal guilt and or blank.
Okay.
What happens to your breath as you write that thought down?
Oh,
Okay. Is somebody giving you opportunities again?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Isn't it
So,
wonderful how life is so fraught with opportunities?
yeah, my other Michael relationship. So my relationship with Michael gives me opportunities to heal guilt, and I don't self-blame came up. I don't know why that's there.
Okay. Probably because their brain cells in the unconscious resonated by that thought,
Oh,
based in self-blame.
yeah, I'm getting
Like,
nauseous. Oh my
there's
gosh.
something wrong with me. That's why he's doing this.
Mm,
That's the biggest lie. That's just that's like reverse projection. You know,
it is.
it's the blame. It's just a variation on the theme of blame. Oh, I'll blame me. It's the same thing as, you know, something out there is causing this in me.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah. Oh my gosh. And I just see overall, even what we worked last night in the codependency around the thoughts I told myself when the power person, I did something wrong, I'm to blame. So I'll be doing a
so
and
you're innocent.
and I know that I wish I can't wait until that actually viscerally lands.
Fully takes hold. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's yeah, that it
It's the kind
really,
of thought
yeah,
when you look at just sort of the, you know, leaving family systems out, you just look at how the guilt game is played on planet Earth. You
yeah.
know, there's an interesting movie if you haven't seen it. Let's see, what was the name of it? Jeanie, you'd know the movie I'm thinking of. The guy who's crossing the ocean in a boat by himself from India.
It's something of pie.
Yeah, The Life of Pi. The
Oh, the
Life
life
of
Yeah.
of
Pi.
Pi.
That's it. The Life
Okay.
of Pi. Anyway, you know, he's native born Indian, but he comes to America or wherever it is, and he becomes Catholic. And one of his statements is, now, you know, being Hindu, I now get to be guilty in front of millions of gods. Yeah, it's like this sales pitch that's been done with guilt on the planet from the religions is just an
Yeah.
horrendous atrocity. You know, you look at the opportunities where Yeshua was fully, completely, totally justified in saying, "You're guilty." And what did he say? Okay, you goons who are pointing the finger because you are guilty. If you have no guilt, if you have no shame, if you have not, quote unquote, sinned, then okay, you throw the first stone, but otherwise get out of here. And they all
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
what did he do? Did he then, you know, exacerbate the guilt? No, he said, you know, look, lady, extended form, look, lady, you know this isn't good for you, so let go of it and go on with your life as a human being, rather than
Yeah.
reinforcing this game of guilt. But it's a powerful way to control people and yank the chain back into line if they're getting too big for their britches, according to the
Yeah.
king.
Yeah. And even Dr. Timms today was talked about vulnerability, and he also talked about he read an excerpt where a woman challenged his Darwin's theory because he said women were inferior, and she went and spent 4 years, and her name was Antoinette Brown Blackwell, and she wrote a book and refuted his entire theory of how it wasn't that they were born inferior, it was the constructs put in that kept them from living their potential. And he
Yeah.
and supposedly that Darwin didn't even give her a response. So that's how
Yeah.
true it was. She refuted everything that he had said. And it was quite an
And
uproar
he
in
clearly,
1869 or in
right?
1850. Yeah. And she was,
Yeah. What
yeah.
an
So
uppity woman, eh? We need
and
more of
then
those.
she, yeah,
It's time.
when she was 90 years old, she actually made it to for when she go women's rights and things, but she made it to in 90 years old to actually cast her ballot to vote, which was outstanding.
Well,
But the whole perception that the false imaging we're making up, and this goes back to what you're saying about self-blame, it's it is systemic in our entire culture, how women also in the construct have been downplayed, and the
yes,
feminine, and what I want to say the feminine, I don't want to say women, but how, including women, but the feminine energy was,
insane.
yeah, told how that we're inferior, and then we
Yeah.
were buying into it still in our psyche and our consciousness.
Time to be done. Holding the space for the upgrade on that one.
Yeah,
And, you know, as you mentioned, Darwin, there's so much of what he said that was so far out in left field that people are still living out of.
I
This
know
whole
it,
idea of survival of the fittest is the biggest
exactly.
lie ever told. It's survival of the most cooperative.
Yeah,
That's where survival happens. It
yeah,
doesn't happen by fighting off and becoming the tough guy.
yeah.
It happens by cooperating, by
And
living
then
as a human
yeah,
being and breathing.
yeah, exactly. And he picked data sets that would support his confirmation bias, right? And
Works.
there was another guy, I think it was called Limerick. If I remember, I read his book, and Darwin's first book and the origins of humanity or whatever it was called. And oh my God, a big thick read. And there was another
Species.
one that actually had it right to what you're saying, but he got pushed underground and Darwin's theory
Yeah.
went, and we bought into that, and it's all a bunch of bunk.
Yep.
You know what he's purporting. So yeah, thank you for the mind shifter, and thanks also to Dr. Tim because he opened the gateway for that.
Yay.
So, yeah,
Yay, Dr. Tim.
yeah, for sure.
Well, but anyone else is listening like a mind shifter? If so, just give me 2 numbers. Or Andre, I see your hand is still up. Have you got another thought for us?
Nope, I don't think my hand's up.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's showing up on my screen. There we go.
And I'm not sure if Terry and Sally were here when you said that you now had 37 sections. So you can choose from 1 to 37 and then 1 to 13.
Yeah, how about if everybody just gives us 2 numbers and let's see what kind of mind shifters come out. Anybody else want to drop 2 numbers in the chat or hit the mute button and give us 2 numbers?
I'll do it. 37 since this is a new section. And
Okay.
let's see, 37, 12.
Okay, just give me 1 second here. 3712. And it's from the section on healing. No, what was the title of the book you're working on, sweetie? Healing Generation, something like that.
Yeah, but I thought you said that was what hers was.
Yeah.
Healing Generations was 7.
Yeah. So here's section 37. The section is Healing Generational Power, Shame, and Internalized Parental Voices.
Okay, give that to me again.
And the section is Healing Generational Power, comma, Shame, and Internalized Parental Voices.
Mm.
And what was the number of your mind shifter in that section?
12.
12, okay. 12 is I deeply enjoy it. When people, quote unquote, diss me, comma, ignore me, comma, or discount me. I deeply enjoy it when people diss me, ignore me, or discount me, dash. I simply see it as an opportunity to breathe and heal.
Got it.
What does that do for your breath, sweetie?
I'm breathing, but it fits.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
And Susan Bingham said 24-4.
24-4. Okay, let me just back up a little bit here. Section 24 is a deep dive into relationship. And yours was number 4?
And she said number 4.
Okay. Every interaction in my relationships has always been for my highest good. Every interaction in my relationships has always been for my highest good. Someone else have a couple numbers for us? Come on, don't be shy.
Yeah. Terry chose 16-4.
16, okay. That's a section on living as love and breath. Section living as love and breath. And 4 is Every time my mind or body goes into a funk, comma, I enjoy it. Every time my mind or body goes into a funk, I enjoy it, and I'm inspired to breathe and do whatever inner work is needed to return to love. So that one is, every time my mind or body goes into a funk, I enjoy it, and I'm inspired to breathe and or do whatever inner work is needed to return to love. Anyone else have a number for us?
Sally
Oh.
Or a
has
set of numbers?
3611, and Susan said, ha ha, on hers.
Is that as in nailed it, Susan?
Oh, it just struck me funny. Every time my mind or body goes into a funk, I enjoy it. I didn't get past that. I started laughing.
Okay. So section 36 is surrender, trust, and being carried by love. That's the title of the section. Surrender, trust, and being carried by love. And the number in 36 was number
11.
11. Eleven is, I release all thoughts of danger, comma. I release all thoughts of danger, comma. Breathe and rest in the safety of being. And then it flows right into the next one rather nicely too, so I'll include that. It's 12 is thank you, body, thank you, life, thank you, love. Anyone have any thoughts on your mind shifter? Does it resonate anything for you?
And I believe Kathy has one too, 25-5.
Okay, just 1 second, 25-5. I kept hitting, I was just looking up mine, I kept hitting on 12-12. And so I just went and found that, and it is from the section on 12 is healing blame. And 12-12, my mind shifter is I'm innocent, and everyone important to me has always acknowledged that. Oh, here we are back to dad again. Okay, what with the other numbers? What was the next set of
25,
numbers?
25, Kathy had 25-5.
25-5, okay. 25 is a section on healing into abundance. And 5 is people in my world love to give me money and support me in being wealthy beyond my wildest dreams. Now that's a good one, Kathy. People in my world love to give me money and support me being wealthy beyond my wildest dreams. And again, that's section 25, healing into abundance. And then just to refresh on how to use a mind shifter, you take a blank piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, write the mind shifter on the left. Depending how deeply it strikes you, you need to work on the issue that the mind shifter resonates. You might spend an hour, make sure your phone's off, make sure you're in your own space, private. You might spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours if you're into something really important, and just start writing. with no censorship whatsoever. Just let every thought that comes, good, bad, indifferent, ugly, nasty, sweet, wonderful, and breathe while you do it. And just allow yourself. Remember, the mind works by resonance. If I say don't think about the color of your car, what fires in brain cells? Something about the color of your car. The idea of a mind shifter, it takes advantage of the law of resonance. The reason why, and my take is, we are not designed to have an unconscious mind. We only have an unconscious mind because we've learned to live in denial, hold our breath, and hide content from ourselves. That's the very definition of the unconscious. The idea of the mind shifter is to make the unconscious conscious. You remember Carl Jung says, until the unconscious becomes conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So the idea is each time you write the mind shifter, if there's something that's deeply buried, maybe far, far down into your genes, then writing that mind shifter will start it resonating. There's a literal energetic, if you think of a middle C tuning fork, I hit it on the desk and it's vibrating strongly, and I put it near a second middle C tuning fork. That second middle C tuning fork has no choice. It starts to vibrate. The way a mind shifter works is we want to hit the right vibration that causes whatever's hidden to take on some of the energy from it so it strengthens. The reason why we can hide things, or the way we hide things from ourselves, is to shut them down to a level of volume, so to speak, that you can't hear it. It's just shut way down. Each time you write the mind shifter, you add a little more energy, the volume's turned up, a little more energy, the volume's turned up, a little more energy, and bingo, there it is. And then once you complete your mind shifter, you want to go back, get really conscious, go back and start making notes, what I touched into. Which tool am I going to use? I might use another mind shifter around this thought that I had discovered. I might use the responsibility communication tool to clean up this mess that I thought that I successfully was able to forget about. I might simply choose to breathe. I might use the apology tool, just make notes of which tools you're going to use to heal the thought disorders that you uncover. And then follow through and use those tools to clean, now that you're in touch with that part of your mind, to clean that part of your mind up. It's an awesome process. And we've got about 9 minutes left. So does anybody have another thought for us? What's happening in your world?
I have a thought.
Not it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
this is Sally, and I am on the island of Kauai. You may hear my
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got some roosters in the background that like to talk a lot more than I do. You gave me that mind shifter, and last night I went at the Center for Spiritual Living. They had what I love so much, Dances of Universal Peace.
Oh, great.
And
Sweet.
it was just perfect
Stoofies.
timing. Yes. And so in the middle of the Sufi dancing, when we had, completed one dance, maybe it was two, and I stood there with my eyes closed and I went directly into still point. It was, I don't know exactly the language to call it, but it felt like there was this blast. It was like catapulted into a completely different mindset. And I'm going to use the best words that I can to describe it. But I knew, because of the intensive, I knew what it was, even though I didn't have the language for it. And it was so amazing. And each of us at the beginning, we were to say, the seed thought that I bring to this gathering, basically an intention. And my seed thought was to trust and feel the safety of being, or something like that. And then when I picked the mind shifter number 36 today, it was incredible that it was word for word what I had set as an intention last night. And
That's
so I'll be
awesome.
carrying every one of you to Kauai and through Kauai with my chickens and roosters. And we'll be
You're
going to,
traveling with chickens and roosters?
well, no, they travel with me. They just come.
Okay.
No, I'm
Well,
it will
we'll
be
do
beautiful.
worksheets. We'll do worksheets on envy that you're in Kauai. And
Oh,
last night it was down in the 20s here.
I've been watching.
But we actually, there's an interesting series, when I think of Hawaii and the people I've associated with there, and a couple of kahunas there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of the aloha spirit, but we had a friend who suggested that we tap into it's just a 1 year or 1 season series called there's a war,
Chief of War.
Chief of War.
Oh,
Very powerful, based in true stories of some of the early days in Hawaii, and when those who greet without breath, those who arrive without intelligence, the kind of insanity that was done. It's really powerful to breathe through and hold the space for the healing, that needs to happen there. It's right up in the time of Kamehameha, which was the last king of Hawaii. And then I forget her name, it's not coming to me, but the last queen of Hawaii, who was deposed by the American businessman, Dole Pineapple, became Dole Pineapple, that literally tore her off of the throne and just destroyed the kingdom of Hawaii, which at that
yeah.
time, I mean, that's not that long ago, and it was literally a recognized nation by all of the nations of the world, and the world just stood by and let these businessmen go in. They took the American military in and just wiped out the whole queendom of Hawaii, which is just, I mean, it's bizarre when you think that happened in our lifetime, and that kind of stuff
Yes,
still goes on. It's just bizarre.
I can confirm that, and I may have stories around that in the next few times together on this radio show. So thank you for being with me as I travel.
Yeah, we'll do that. If you have the space and you have the time, probably being there, especially if you're contemplating some of those spaces, watching that and breathing, probably will be a few worksheets to do in it, but might enhance the whole understanding and experience that you have there. And I would love to hear more about it.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you all.
Sweet.
And bye.
So all of the mind shifters are in the notes. Thank you, Miss Jeanie, for everything that you do. And we've got about 4 minutes. So does anyone have a final thought for us? And if not, how about if we just close eyes for a moment and let your jaw go slack, let your jaw relax. Breathe into the mind shifter that you received. And as you breathe, remember that the source of intelligence in the human being is the breath. And ask that breath to uncover and show you and forgive anything that is resonated by your mind shifter. Let your jaw just soften. And as it softens, let the breath just enter through a trusting, open energy system called the body-mind unit, ready to have resonated or shown anything that is less than love that needs to be removed, and just connect your breath, allow your breath to move and to free yourself of anything and everything related to your mind shifter or related to anything going on in your life that needs to be softened and removed. As you breathe, just invite that presence of the intelligence of the Creator that is delivered into your structure by the breath, in to fuel every cell of your structure. Feel its presence. Pay attention if, as you do that, there are pulses anywhere in your structure. Tap into those pulses. Be aware of the information they have for you. Be aware of the representation that they are of a new level of alignment. Remember the two keys we could have covered in the intensive. One is the breath, Rukha, literally the intelligent force that was breathed into a piece of clay called a body-mind unit that enabled that piece of clay to speak, to think, to plan, to originate. And that alignment, that when breath fully enters, rather spontaneously happens. And of course, you can do things to support you in that alignment as well. So holding the space and appreciating each and every one of you. Breathing with you, and pass it on.